Hi and welcome back. So in the last video we looked at document.write and we said that you should not use this, you should only use it for testing and for seeing something that you want to view a quick result for. Because if you use it, once your entire HTML has been loaded, it will wipe out everything. So don't use it unless you're doing some kind of a test. So in this video, let's look at console.log. Console.log is a way for you to output or log information to the console. So if I come to the browser, this is our console. Most browsers have the console. For example, if you're using Chrome, you have the Chrome developer tools. Just go to the console of Chrome and you'll be able to access this as well. I'm here using Firefox, and on Firefox, I'm using Firebug. So on Firebug, I just click on console. That will get me to the web console for Firefox. Now here on the web console, normally you'd see information about the web page. For example, if there are warnings, there are errors, you'll see them here. If there is some information, you'll see them here, and you'll also see things related to the network. So basically, this is a place that will log information about lots of different things that concerns the current web page. So this is used for debugging, and if you want to debug, you will always use the web console on Firefox. In my case, I'll use the web console and I'm using Firebug for that. So if I come here and down here, you can see I have this short notes about the web console or the browser console. So whether it's Chrome, whether it's IE, that's Internet Explorer, whether it's Firefox, Opera, they all have a tool that you can use that is similar to Firebug, web developer tools that you can use on that browser, and in most cases you'll find each of them have a web console where you can see things that's related to the web page. So this is mostly used for debugging, and it logs information about a web page. If there is any information, errors, warnings, network information, JavaScript, CSS, etc., all that can be logged in the web console. So the web console will enable you as a programmer to interact with that web page on the browser, right? You can just go to the web console, and you saw me write this earlier on. So this is a way for you can interact with the web page. If I do an alert, maybe alert 2 times 3, if I run this, you see it will enable me to interact with the web page. So there are lots of methods that can be used on the web console, but we are mostly interested in console.log, which will enable us to log information to the console. Actually, this is the one that is mostly used by most JavaScript tutors. If you look at most tutorials online, even on MDN, and I'm mostly using the MDN documentation for this JavaScript course. So you'll find that most of the examples are given using console.log as the method of output. So let me do an example of this so that you can see how you can use the console for yourself. So if I come back here, in the last video we looked at that. Now let's look at the console.log. So I'll just uncomment this, and if I do this, if I run this on the browser, it's going to give us this output. It's going to log this into the web console. So if I come here and I reload, okay, I have to click there. If I click on all, which shows me everything, it will log that into the console. This is the information that has been logged into the console. Now if I come back here, let me comment that and uncomment this. You can even do mathematical operations and it will be logged into the console. So here I do have 100 times 4 minus 250, and we want to see the result of this. So if I run this, if I come back and I reload, you see it will log the result of that. So the console.log is a very quick way for you to see your results and examples, and there's so many more methods that can be used. So we have the console.log. You can also have something like console.info. So if you want to show some information, these are things methods that are available on the console. If I reload this, you see it gives you with that icon for information. So there are a whole lot of different things that can be done. There are a whole lot of other methods that are available. You can even have one. These are all available in the console. You see, it will show you like that's a warning. So these are mostly for the use of the programmer. So you as a programmer, you can use the console to log some information which you can look at later on to tell you how your system is performing. There are also certain methods that can enable you to add some kind of a styling. So for example, if I say here shift that C, so with this I can add some styling. So if I do this, maybe color, white, and then background black. If I save this and I come back to the browser, reload, you'll see it can style that section. So there are a whole lot of other things that are available, and you can take a look at them on the Mozilla documentation. I'll add the links here so you can take a look at the web console and read as much as you can about it, but we're mostly interested in this because this is the one you will come across so often. So in this video, we have looked at the console.log and we've seen how you can output information on the web console, and in my case, I was using Firefox and Firebug. So on Firebug, I was able to log this information here. So this is a very quick way for you to just output something if you want to see what the result is. So if you have any questions, let me know, and let's continue in the next video where we're going to look at all these others. So I'll see you in the next video.